today's 4.2, how Congress works. If you're going to follow along online, you need to open that quiz up right now. And we're going to go through all 8 of those questions immediately so we can make hundos. Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. How Congress works. So, members of Congress at work. Basic job of Congress members: represent the people of their state or district. That is their job. It doesn't seem like they do that quite often. It almost might seem like they're doing it for their own political gain or whatever it is. But their real job is to represent you as a person who lives in a state or lives in a district of that state. So, 3 ways they do this. Lawmaking, so they introduce bills, they do committee work, they do voting in Congress, so either the Senate or the House of Representatives. They do casework, and that is troubleshooting for their constituents. Constituents are, that's us. People who live in the state or live in the district. People who they represent. So they troubleshoot for their constituents who request help in dealing with the federal government. They also help the district or state that they are from. Not necessarily the people, but what's going on there. Okay, so maybe it's a bunch of farmland, so they really try to pass bills that have to do with farming, right? I mean, like, let's make sure that the farmers are taken care of, because those are the types of people who live in that particular district. So, protect their interests, give constituents a share in the federal budget. So, you could have already answered number 1, okay? Which would probably be what you think it is, right? All options. And number 2 is right here in front of us right now. So, pork barrel projects. Can you see this right here? I mean, pork barrel, that's exactly what it is. It's dividing up a pig, saying, here's a piece for you, here's a piece for you, here's a piece for you. But instead of it being a pig, it's money and grants and projects. And they give it to the people that they represent. That is called pork barreling. So pork barrel projects, projects and grants that primarily benefit the whole district or state. So there you go for number 2. Who does be? So, all right. We have terms of Congress. So each term begins January 3rd of odd-numbered years. It lasts 2 years, so each term lasts 2 years. So it's given a number to identify the term. Right now we're in the 116th Congress. Seems like a lot of Congresses, right? So 2 sessions per term, special sessions in times of crisis, like 9/11 or something like that. Joint session is when the House and the Senate meet together, and this usually happens during the President's State of the Union address. You might have accidentally turned on the TV one night and tried to change the channels and seen nothing but the President's State of the Union address. Okay, that's whenever both houses meet together and they listen to what the President has to say about the state of the United States. So I think there was a question that was answered right there. Each term of Congress lasts 2 years. True or false? Which one could it be? Yeah. True. All right, Congressional Rules. Look, these people, there's 435 people in the House of Representatives. There's 100 people in the Senate. There has to be specific rules for these people to engage one another and how to work out certain debates and all that kind of stuff. There are rules for this. So they help Congress operate. They have a rules committee. They have parliamentary procedures, so how to vote, right? In the old days, it'd be like yay, nay, I abstain, present, whatever you want to say. Today, they actually vote by electronic devices, okay? So, here we go. Congressional, am I muted? I'm muted. Sorry, I was muted. But I'm not now. But now I need to mute my office. Oh, where's the sound? What's this? Get off there.
Young money, cash money.
Trying it out.
You're getting it. All right, so I'm not muted anymore, sorry about that. All right, congressional leader. So we have the majority party, so political party which more than one half of the members belong to. You can see up here right now, the Senate majority leader, Mitch McConnell. The Senate minority leader is Charles Schumer or Chuck Schumer, but he would be the minority party, right? So right now in the Senate, that'd be Democrats. Republicans have the majority there. So Mitch McConnell is the majority leader. Then we have the House majority leader, which is Steny Hoyer from Maryland, Democrat. And then the House minority leader, which is Kevin McCarthy. Again, Vice President, he's going to be presiding over the Senate. And if he can't preside over the Senate, another guy does it. Pretty much one of the most senior people. So the President pro tempore at this moment is Chuck Grassley. So the minority party is the other party, right? They have less amount of people there. Both houses have a majority and minority leader. You see him up here. The leader of the House of Representatives is Speaker of the House. That's Nancy Pelosi. We went over her in 4.1. Leaders of the Senate, Vice President, again, only votes in a tie. And then the President pro tempore is the chairperson, and he basically does the everyday work of the Senate. Okay, then we have congressional leaders continued here. So we have floor leaders. So these people make sure laws passed by Congress are in the best interest of their party. Okay, they speak for their parties on the issues and try to sway votes. These people are going to find you if you're a congressional member, and they're going to say, "Hey, what are you doing? Why aren't you voting with us? You should vote with us. You should vote with us. This is what our party wants." And they go and they find these people and they try to collect and gather information about how many votes they could possibly get to pass a bill, and hopefully it becomes a law. So we have party whips. So we have the Senate Majority Whip up here, John Thune, Republican, Senate Minority Whip, Dick Durbin, Democrat. Then we have the House Majority Whip, Jim Clyburn, and then the House Minority Whip, Steve Scalise. So what do whips do? They keep track of where their party members stand on issues and rounds them up for key votes. I think that's another one of your questions.
That's a big forehead.
So committees. This is where most of the work in Congress actually happens. So you think of Congress of 435 people together. You think of that would be the House of Representatives, and then you think of 100 together for the Senate. But they don't get together and work these things out. They divide up. They divide up into things called committees, little legislatures, and this is where all the work really happens in Congress. So you have standing committees, which are permanent. They continue their work from session to session. They don't stop just because the session is over. They continue. Okay? And then most of them are divided into smaller subcommittees that deal with specialized issues. Then you have select committees. They're created to do a special job for a limited time, and then they're disbanded when their work is finished. I mean, an example of a select committee, a select committee was put together to find out why JFK was assassinated. Another select committee was put together to find out why people were using steroids in baseball. I mean, it can vary from that kind of stuff. Okay, it can be like a huge issue, assassination, to a sporting issue. Okay, so I think that was another answer to one of your questions right there. So committees continued. So you have joint committees. They include members of both houses of Congress. So they work together. So the House of Representatives and Senate, and then a couple of them from each one would come and they would make a committee, and then boom, they could get some work done. Conference committees helps the House and Senate agree on details of a proposed law. They're usually temporary. These are some of the committees here. So standing committees, these never go away. agriculture, appropriations, armed services, budget, science, resources, veterans affairs, standing committees in the Senate, Indian affairs, energy and natural resources, finance, and then select and special committees, intelligence, aging, ethics, intelligence again. But yeah, look, these are all committees in Congress. These are where the real work happens, okay? And then committee assignments. So how do you get to be on a committee? You kind of have to be in Congress for a long time. Seniority. Seniority is what drives that, okay? So, you know, there's no term limits in Congress. So they can be there and be voted in over and over and over again. And they're just old. This guy right here, Senator John Conyers from Vermont, he took office January 3rd, 1975, and he hasn't left yet. This guy works with Bernie Sanders. They're from the same place, they represent the same state, and he's older than him. How crazy is that? Okay, so currently he's 80 years old. So, committee assignments made by party leaders based on the Congress members' preferences, expertise, party loyalty, are you voting with us or not? And then seniority. That is that answer that you're looking for right now, seniority. And that's just years of service. How long have you put in our federal government? Those with the most seniority get the preferred committee spots. Longest serving members become chairpersons, and chairpersons usually head those committees. So chairpersons of standing committees are the most powerful members of Congress. Benefits of Congress. Let's see what people get paid. $174,000. $174,000 a year. It's not bad. It's not crazy good, right? I mean, I personally know people who make this amount of money. I'm not one of them. Okay? But that's not too much. You know, I think Addison Rae probably makes this in a month.
Per video.
Maybe. They get a free office space, free trips to their home state. They can fly back home and then back to Washington, D.C. whenever they want. They have this thing called franking privilege. They can send job-related mail for free. That's huge whenever they want to be reelected. You imagine that? You don't have to, you make all your little card. I mean, I don't know if you guys check the mail or not, but I'm getting tons of political ads in the mail right now. And if you're already in office, you get to send all that for free. If you're not, and you're fighting against that person, you're trying to win the election, you actually have to pay for it. So is that an advantage for the person already in office?
Yes.
100%. Immunity in some situations, they have legal protection in some situations. Limitations on Congress, expulsion, so being removed from Congress, it's a process, and then censure would be a formal vote of disapproval for some sort of, you know, action not deemed ethical by Congress. Congressional staff, you got a personal staff, so they help with the day-to-day workload. They deal with reporters and lobbyists. Lobbyists are people hired by private groups to influence government decision makers. Name a government group, or not a government group, but a private group that could possibly pay people money to lobby for them in Congress. Can you think of it? It's, what about the National Rifle Association? You know what that is?
The NRA.
The NRA? You think they pay lobbyists to go around and speak to people and make sure that their voices are heard? 100%. So then you have committee staff. So usually experts on special topics, and then you have support staff, Library of Congress, and you got these people called pages, and they pretty much do whatever you want to help your day-to-day workload. And we're done. Hit me with that theme song, and I'll see you next time.